Okay, so the closely related keys are the keys that are one sharp or flat away from the one you're starting with. So if we start with C major, we have add one sharp is G major, add one flat is F minor, and then the relative minors of those, or the relative keys to these. So that would be A minor, E minor, and D minor. So there are the closely related keys to C major. Also, conveniently, all of the keys in C major, except for 7, which remember 7 is like Rudolph, he doesn't get to play with the reindeer games, right? So Rudolph is excluded. And then it's the other 6 notes of the scale. I find that easier to think about rather than what's the relative of adding one sharp, but you can do it however you like to do it. And question of any kind? Okay, next then, but you may ask, well, what about minor? How does that work with minor? Well, okay, so let's take C minor then as our starting point. All right, so we add a sharp, which means we take away one flat, so that's G minor. We add one flat, that's F minor. And then the relative of these, the relative of C minor is E flat, still on the screen, sort of. Relative of G minor is B flat, relative F minor is A flat. So there are the closely related keys to C minor. Now, who would like to say how that pattern fits in with the scale, the C minor scale? Yes. Could you say that again? Yeah, true. I mean, that's what, yeah, the relative is it's shifted down to third, right? But we came up with this interesting thing, how this was scale degrees 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, excluding Rudolph, the diminished 7 chord. Now, we're talking about keys, not chords. I have to keep saying that, but of course, they're related to what their tonic chord is. And yes. Well, it's all the ones except scale degree 2. Because remember, you have that diminished chord on scale degree 2 in minor. Yes, it's all the ones, yeah, it's like an E flat major. It would be the same as the keys related to E flat major, because it would exclude its scale degree 7, which is D. And that's the same thing as C minor excluding its scale degree 2. They're excluding the one that has a diminished triad if you honor all of the accidentals that are in the key signature. So in major, you don't count scale degree 7, and in minor, you don't count scale degree 2. So in both cases, we're getting rid of the one that has a diminished chord in the natural key signature of the original key signature. So, closely related keys. Yes, exactly. Everybody got that? Okay, so, all right, that's closely related. Any questions? Okay, now the question then becomes, what do you call things that are not closely related? And in that question, we will delay that A until theory 4 and B until about 5 minutes from now. Both of those in 2 different ways. Theory 4, we're going to go into this more deeply, but for right now, we're also going to have maybe a way of talking about it.